Oh, hi, family and friends, and all my survivors of this life. This is Roy from Bootsy Sweetheart's Guide to Life and Other Disappointing Experiences with a very special video. Rather than doing a live stream, which makes me very nervous still, I'm going to have sort of a hopefully one-way conversation looking for help and advice from my ever-growing posse of journaling experts, stampers, paper crafts, mixed media mashup people, and all mixed media artists, and anyone else who's interested in choosing the right kinds of printed material to use in projects. So please stay tuned and give me advice and help. Thank you. Well, friends, here's my situation. The church that we go to has a very nice thrift shop. Small, but nice. And we've been having some trouble staffing it, so they've put out a call for people to volunteer one day a month to work in the thrift shop to help ease some of the work that a very small handful of people are doing. So I promised to leave my wallet at home, which I did not, and that was a major mistake, as we all know. And I browsed through the small couple of bookcases that we have because I've been so impressed with the kinds of printed material, ephemera and all that you all are getting and finding, that I said, let me see if I can refine my skill at picking out some things. So I spent $1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $10 on some books, and just looking for your opinion, if this is the kind of stuff I should be looking for. Some of it I understand now after I've purchased it that it's probably not the very best, but this is a golden book. Of course, it's the church, so we got the little golden book of hymns, and this is adorable. Maybe I should zoom in a little. Let me see if I can. Doing this, let's see, there we go. This is about as close as I can get. It has music and it has these adorable paintings. These are not old. None of these books are old by any means. But I like the music notes. I thought this would be a good background. And I'm going to do a lot of my journaling with fabric and paper, but mostly fabric, because I am a fabric addict. And I like making fabric books. Our youngest granddaughter is the only one I haven't made one yet for, and I feel remiss in that, but I'll do that. So this is a little golden book, very, very thin, not a lot of pages. Is this something that I should be looking for? Here's a second one. My little golden book about God. I should clean these before I do anything. Again, it's a narrow book. The illustrations are wonderful. This is so pretty, isn't it? And the sayings are nice. Of course, it's primer, not primer, but certainly first or second grade. God gives us flowers, some bird, the songs of birds, the laughter of brooks, the deep song of the sea. Look at this picture. This is just adorable. So, again, is this the kind of thing I'm looking for? I like these, so even if you vote no, I'm going to look for them. Then I am into cooking. Both my husband and I cook a lot. He's gotten onto a very big baking binge. Not going to be good for our trip to Florida. I can tell you that much. Uh, this is how to win compliments from your cooking. These are what I always find amazing is the chauvinistic material, the approach. This is only for women. I mean, it's a women's apron. Oh, it's run by the Wesson Oil Company. It's made by, and there's some great little illustrations that I think can be blown up. I was trying to blow one up and color it just to see how that would look. But I think some of the recipes are cute. These illustrations are nice. I thought we could use these. You know, anybody having a memory book, here's an adorable birthday party for kids. And of course, here is Dad cutting the roast beast while Mom is doing her mom thing. Oh my goodness. And I always wonder, I am always in wonder at the little pieces of paper from recipe books and news articles that I find in these old books. So this is probably not the best example, but I liked it as soon as I saw it, so I'll find uses for this. The next couple of books, three of them, are relatively new, and I took them because of the color, because of the illustrations or photographs. I have a couple of paint decorating paint books anyway, but this one just had so many. Was that my bones or was that the pages creaking? I have to have carpal tunnel done on my dominant hand, and I am not a happy person, so I'm going to be out of commission at some point. I'm trying to put it off as long as I can. Look at this texture. Can you? I don't know how. I mean, it's not textured. The paint is textured on the wall, but not on the photograph. This just struck me with all the color and the dramatic settings that these are in. There's so many. Look at this. I said this, regardless of what anyone says, I think there's value in all of this. What I'm able to do is print this, copy this and print it on fabric. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing. And it'll all be after the holidays. I'm recording this right before Christmas. So there'll be some busy time, and then I'm going to be out of commission for a little while. Look at this. This is a beautiful room. And, you know, usually I have a frame. I don't have it handy. I have a couple of pieces of cardboard that I cut out that I frame fabric with. And in this case, I would frame I would frame the photograph. Oh, I think I have to move. This looks beautiful. Okay, I need another house. Oh wow, see, some of this, I'm sorry if there's a glare, I'm doing my best. Beautiful this is. And then there's all these decorative processes that are illustrated. And it's a wonderful find. $1. I paid $1 for this book. Look at this. Shows you how to do. I'm almost afraid to cut it up, except I have one similar, newer but similar to this, the painting techniques. All right, so we have that. This one was a huge surprise. Treasured Friendships, Celebrating the Joys of Friendship, paintings by Sandra Cook. What I love about this book, besides all of the illustrations inside, is it's really the cover is just a blank canvas. I may use this as my first journal. We'll see. I want to do a optimist pessimist. It may sound weird, but the way I have it planned, it's I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be, the whole thrust of it is to be optimistic, so we'll see. Treasured friends, and this is, it was printed in Mexico. That's interesting. 1947. Guess what? It's as old as I am. But the sayings are magnificent. Here's an example. When a friend looks out a window of your life, she sees the same world you do. Your happiness is her happiness. Your success is her happiness, her success. Such a friend is the best sort to have. Every good thing multiplies when it's shared by two with the same heart. Who's the artist? I never thought to look. Sandra Cook is the painter. She's the artist. It's magnificent. Look at this. This is just... I mean, look at... You can't not fall in love with this picture. Beautiful. And every saying is special. I love this idea of putting text within this kind of a frame. Really pretty. This would be difficult to fussy cut. Where's Elizabeth? Look at this teddy bear, Elizabeth. Lizzie, look at the teddy bear. So cute. Full of the animals. Friendship is the breathing rose with sweets in every fold. And what's nice again is, we have two daughters grown and two granddaughters, and it's just special to see a book that celebrates the friendship of girls and the strength that they should have and should be taught to have. All right, I could read this forever, but there's a whole bunch. It's cute. Anyway, I promised myself I wasn't going to say anyway a lot, but I am. Wonderful pictures. So this is the kind of thing I don't even need your advice on. I know these are the kinds of things I should be looking for. This was another rare find. I didn't think, I passed it up the first time I browsed through the bookshelf. Seasons of Solace. It's a nice cover. I mean, I don't know if I could, I guess I could alter it in some way. Rather than making brand new signatures, I'm kind of more interested in altering books, I think. Like cutting along here, leaving an edge and pasting my page in and leaving some of the pages in, especially when you see some of these things. Oh, honor. Oh, this is signed by the author. I didn't see that. Honor Life's Questions. Signed Janelle S. Hertzler. Wow, I didn't notice that. When is this printed? When is this printed? Oh, 2010. Okay. And of course, again, the text is beautiful. Look at these. Here we go with the photographs. Just magnificent. Cheers. It's Friday night somewhere. In New York it is. Beautiful pictures. And the poems are magnificent. I'm not going to read any all the way through. They're just beautiful. But they're a little long. Yeah. Again, I don't think I have to ask your opinion about whether to save this. It's a different style than a lot of the junk journals and whatnot I've been seeing. But if you're making a memory book or some sort of a book to celebrate someone's life, these kinds of... Oh, let me ask, let me ask those of you over 70, are you getting a lot of mail from the local cemetery? Because I am. And I find that very disturbing. It's bad enough, I keep hearing from Medicare and the site clinic and all these podiatrists and whatever, but to get from the cemetery, please. Okay, look at this. Oh, anyway, this is beautiful. Life from death, falling leaves and branches, decomposed, food sustaining life. You're still here, regardless of your format, I guess. Sustaining, nourishing, changing with me. My view of life is fuller because of death. Oh, goodness, there we go. All right, let me close this. But anyway, the pictures are wonderful. So I've got these, and this, and this, and this. And then this, for me, was the pièce de résistance. I found 3 books, 1940, 1942, 1948. I was already a year old. Live It Again, The Good Old Days. I don't think they're, no, they're not, what's his name from... Oh, it is the Saturday Evening Post, I was going to say. How could it be from this? It is Norman Rockwell. That's not from Norman Rockwell on the cover. No, this is not Norman Rockwell on the cover. But a lot of these are. These pictures are outrageously wonderful. So historical. They have that 1940s look to them. A lot of the cartoons are fun. Here's the cover page. Nothing satisfies like quality. A Whitman sampler. Do any of you still remember that? I think they still make them. Never mind. And it goes on and on. These are a treasure. This I'm going to have a lot of trouble cutting up. These are great coffee table books, but they need to live again in another form, I think. The very special books. And there's some history in these, besides social comment for the day, you know, lifestyle comment rather. School buses. What does this say? The new kid must be from California. His apple is much bigger. I would think from Texas, but I don't know. They say California. So this is 1940, 1942. Oh, what is this? What is this? Waiting for surgery for 10 years. Oh, this cleft palate thing. Have you seen it on television? The epidemic. Well, it's not an epidemic, but the high incident of cleft palate in so many of the struggling countries. It's very, very sad. We've pretty much figured it out here, but blessings, what is this? Blessings. Virtual vows. Oh, I don't know why that was saved. Ooh, Red Cross. Look at this picture. This is going to go on, this is going to at some point make its way to a handbag, an evening bag that I'm going to make. I have a design in mind. We know this one, this famous picture. Look at this. This is an old singer. I love it, love it, love it. You know, war is terrible, but it did liberate, or at least begin the liberation of women in the workforce. They had to because the men were overseas. You know, my dad was away for 4 years before they, of course, he wasn't married yet, but he hadn't been home for 4 years. Well, and everything in the 40s, early 40s, revolved around the war. Somewhere I have a what's called a rations coupon. It's a little square coupon. I can't find it, but it'd be worth its weight to find. For my grandmother, which allowed her to buy a month's supply of sugar. She could present that at the store, and they had to collect the ration coupon. In order to get sugar. What we don't know, some of us, a lot of us, is that average Americans paid a lot in cash for the war effort in the 40s. My parents, certainly my grandparents, bought these defense bonds, and they were like any kind of bond program. You bought bond and hoped you would get paid back with some interest, and they were. But the government sold these bonds to finance part of the war debt. Is it safe to tell my mother where we're going? I don't get it. Well, whatever. So, this is 1942. Hope I'm not boring you, but I'm having a wonderful time. And this is 1948. So remember, I was a year old already, which makes me, by the way, older than the state of Israel. Not a lot of people can say that anymore. And this is a more upbeat because we're now out of the war economy. And, oh, look at this. It's a little card with the Pledge of Allegiance on it. And it was issued because the 50th state was added in 1960. So they reprinted these with the 50 stars. Terrific. Bowling was so popular. Oh my goodness. But, oh, what is this? Publishers Clearinghouse. Oh, this is 2000 something. So this book isn't real. How old is this book? These books. These books were... Why don't they have a title page? Well, maybe it's the next page. There's no title page here. All right, we'll see. Remember these old buses? No air conditioning. Very warm. So, here, oh, great picture, great picture. And there are some photos, and there are a lot of illustrations, beautiful illustrations. Wow. A drive-in movie, but he's on a horse. Wonderful, wonderful. So this is the last of my find. And I think I did a good job. I think like a book like this is very versatile because it has some of the stuff you can use for junk journaling, and some of it you can use for any other kind of altered book or, from the scratch book, from scratch. So please let me know what you think of my find. Ooh, fabric. Many women prefer to make their own garments. Sewing patterns offered the opportunity to create either casual or business looks. See, that's the beginning of the very early seeds of women getting into the workforce. Unfortunately, probably at 3/4, if not much less, 2/3 the pay. And not in supervisory or administrative jobs. I worked in the school system, and most of my career, a lot of my superiors were women. So, You know, I perfectly understand the value of that and wonder why it took so long. Anyway, 1948, 1942, 1940. Thank you for sticking with me. If you stuck with me to the end here, here are my treasures. I don't know what I'm going to do with them immediately. Right now I'm going to keep enjoying them as they are. One or two I can cut up easily. This one I can cut up. And we'll see what happens. So please let me know what you think. Do I have an eye for these things? What else should I look for? How should I change my filtering of printed material? And let's just have some fun exploring these things. Thank you again. And as my sewing mentor from television would always say, bye for now. Thank you.